And bring us back in. What's up, everyone out there in YouTube land, which basically is just the two or three people who listen to this podcast? You are back episode of Mikey and Dee Dee just talking bullshit. And we were talking about the U of H. U of H is playing Colorado. U of H played a game against what, Sam Houston or San Jack, and just
Stephen
blew
F. Austin,
Stephen F. Austin, there you go, and just beat him out of the
SFA.
water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, usually the first game of the season for college football is a fluff game where they're just playing a game that's not even in the same league as them. And they just blow them out the water and let a lot of their backups and stuff play and all that kind of fun stuff. But what is up with you, man?
Not much. Just hanging out, 66 outside. So
Nice, man. What cigar are you
enjoying the
smoking right
weather.
now?
It's a Cuba, that acid one.
Okay. Any good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool, man. I'm gonna fire up the one I think I had with you last week. It's been sitting here on my desk and I
Oh,
haven't smoked it since. So I'm like, well, let me just get this bad boy going. Okay, man, it has been a fucking crazy ass week. The world is losing its mind as always, and people turn to us to make sense of the shit. So, dude, where do you want to fucking start first? Do you want to start talking about the Raja Rampage thing? You want to talk about the trans shooting that happened in Minnesota? Dude, it's everything's balls to the wall.
wow.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and
up
I
by
guess I
your
could
neck of the
rant.
woods, man.
Yeah, Minnesota. That was Gary's old stomping ground. Remember? He used to live up there
Yeah, go ahead and
before
name
he
him
moved
by
to
name.
Houston.
That's fun.
Yeah, there's how many Garys in this world?
There's a lot of Garys in this world. You're right.
Yeah. Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to rant about my computer. I spent an hour and a half with an issue with my Bluetooth, and it was so simple, it was kind of stupid. Well, I guess it's simple in my eyes. Most people wouldn't even think about it, but I did all these things, and it took me an hour and a half to figure out that the problem was because I was using a hub for USB, but it's for hub connections to my motherboard. And so my Bluetooth kept crapping out, or it crapped out, and it kept giving me an error message. And the software was there, the driver was there, but the radio wasn't working for the Bluetooth. So none of my devices can connect to it. So I had to dig into my case and do all this stuff. And then I realized I had this hub that I had to unplug the power to and replug it in to get it to work again, finally. But an hour and a half
So
spent
wait, so I don't know anything about computers, but what I'm hearing is you worked an hour and a half
to
to
try to
figure
fix
out you
my
just had to
Bluetooth.
unplug it.
I had to unplug something. Yeah,
Okay.
basically. I had to unplug something. And it's because I have an older board. It doesn't have enough USB headers. I only have two USB headers where I can plug in, for all my USB ports on the case itself. And then the Bluetooth on the wireless card I use needs a USB port. And there's only two. So I had fans that needed a USB connection and or something. Maybe it wasn't the fans, it's something else. But I had three things that needed, USB connections that only two were provided on the motherboard. So I had to find a solution, which a hub was it. But this hub is powered, and yeah, whatever reason, my computer crashed. I booted it back up. The Bluetooth wasn't working, and because that my headphones, my keyboard, mouse, all that stuff connects by Bluetooth. So yeah, fun stuff. An hour and a
So,
half.
and again, I know nothing about computers. For the five people who listen to this who are in IT, they're probably either laughing or saying you're a moron because you should have done that at first.
Or you're a
I
nerd.
yeah,
Well,
I
no,
put
no, no, moron. I mean, that was the only solution I have. I
well, I
did.
don't know.
I,
I have what? How am I going to push back on that? I know nothing.
that
Some
I,
words. I
I
know what a motherboard is. Here's
mhm.
the only thing that I can say that my pet peeve is about people's computers, and possibly you could maybe co-sign this or give me an amen as well, is when people, and particularly they're older people, so we're talking like boomers or something like that, have too many fucking icons on their desktop. I'm like, how do you find anything? You turn the computer on in their desktop, you can't see the desktop anymore. It's just covered with the stuff.
I
Shortcuts
have
to this. And
shortcuts and folders.
But they
right?
don't even like, so my mom, for instance, she doesn't put anything in a folder. It's like just Word documents all and
Oh
Excel
yeah,
documents
yeah, for
all
sure.
over.
All over the computer. Yeah,
And
because
I'm like, how do you find anything?
they don't understand that you can create a folder and subfolders and subfolders and
Yeah.
subfolders and so on. Or
I,
they want to do that. Some people are
but
lazy.
I've worked with educated people, like people who are in doctorate level
Hmm?
educations, and they operate the same way. When they would share their
Because they're
screen, you're like, well, no wonder this guy's never on point because his shit is
because
all over the place.
they're computer illiterate. You can be the smartest person in the room, but they're very computer illiterate.
So
That's
that's
my
how this conversation is making me feel right now. Like I'm not computer
well,
lit. I don't know.
you
I
may
didn't
be
know what you were saying.
a little advanced, but not too
Yeah,
bad. No, it's all actually I built it myself. Right, I built it piece by piece. Not one of those you
nice
just
man.
buy.
And that's for the
No.
Pornhub, or is that for like your OnlyFans subscription? Like, why did you need a solidary computer just for yourself?
Well, because I play games on it sometimes,
I
but
got
also I
you.
do like the video edits on it and stuff. It's an older motherboard. It's like it has an eighth gen processor on it, and eighth gen was probably like 6, 7 years ago. Every generation's a year, something like that, or two. So it's an older motherboard with an older processor. The long point, the short point is that I just need to replace it. I need to build a new one. But right now, it works okay. It just has its problems, and that was one of them.
I'm
But now I
glad you got it
know.
taken care of.
Well, now I know in the future if it happens again, what I exactly got to do. What I really should do is probably move the Bluetooth directly to the board and use the hub and plug that other thing into the hub instead, and just deal with it that way. But right
Yeah,
now I'm like,
dude, that's
it's okay
obvious. I
where it
mean,
is. Well, I
I
got to
wish
take
you would have
it.
called me and told me. I could have just suggested that in the first place.
Hmm.
I
No,
mean, I'm
I
like,
got to take it
dude,
apart and clean it anyway. There's a bunch of dust in there, so I'll be doing
is
that
it
next
there's
week.
dust in your motherboard
Very
over there?
dust.
You
No,
got a
as long as
dusty
it's the
motherboard?
fans. The fans are real dirty. It's
The
time to clean
fans
it.
are
So
dirty in your
the
motherboard?
fans are dirty.
But Mikey, how you gonna do your work if your
How
fans are
you
dirty?
dirty? You sound like Edith.
Edith Bucker, that's what I'm going for.
Hmm.
So I had a friend who I go to the range with every now and then send me like a clip of like All in the Family, like it's basically just Archie Bunker from All in the Family.
Archie
And
Bunker.
yeah, and I mean, a great show. A couple things I said, I told him, I'm like, well, because he's older than I am. Really interesting cat. Have lots of fun hanging out with him. And he was saying that, and he gives you the same thing a lot of people say, oh, you can't have this anymore. These things you can't say on television, stuff like that anymore, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, hey, Carol O'Connor, I loved him in that show. I loved him in The Heat of the Night. I wish he would have done more in like movies and stuff. But he was
Yeah,
back then. He was like a TV actor. It was still very segregated. There were movie actors and there were TV actors.
TV
And if you
actors,
did
right?
TV, you just did TV. But he had such a great range. He was so talented and so believable in the roles he did. I wish he would have been able to branch out more into movies.
Yeah,
But that's one thing. But the other thing was like, I'm like, bro, they still have stuff like this. I was like, have you ever seen an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Now theirs is more satire, but they still say raunchy stuff. They go over the top with it, race stuff. It's often played from a level of ignorance or something like that. That character Frank reminds me of if Archie Bunker lived in a modern context. But I'm like, dude, they still have that kind of stuff. It's changed a bit. But you can still
yeah,
say that kind of stuff. You can go way over the top with it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
But
it's an
like All in
old
the
show.
Family, just I mean, really dealt with like I guess Vietnam and maybe race relations. But if you put that in a modern context, we still have those. But then you add on capitalism. I'm trying to think of some of the things that Always Sunny is always tackled. You add on. They had their character Mac, who for years was trying to come to grip with his sexuality. You
Yeah.
have all these things that are
Hmm.
coming out. So, which I actually recently I finished up the season 17 of It's Always Sunny. So I thought it was a
I never
great
gotten that
season.
show.
Hey, dude, I think you would really. So I usually tell people start with season two because that's where Danny DeVito's character comes in, and then
Mm.
you just watch as he just or not progresses, just degresses, I guess, into the character he is now over the course of seasons. It's really funny. It's dingy. It's in the bar, and they will do parodies of what's happening in modern contexts in pop culture and stuff. It has some of those meta type episodes. My favorite episode is when, and you got to be a fan of the show. I think it's when they want to win it. Like the actual show wants to win an award, and they do a parody of what's it like on like a sitcom bar where like there's always like the will they won't they and everything's very brightly lit and stuff like that. So if you get a
Yeah.
chance, check that one out. They have some really good ones. I like when they're making fun of Lethal Weapon, and sometimes they'll do blackface, but they do blackface in the way that Robert Downey Jr. did it in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. Which you would have thought that at some point he'd get shit over it, but even now he still hasn't really
Oh,
been
dude, I
approached
would
about
I,
it.
I would dap him up. I'd be like, "You never go full retard." All right, let me break it down for
Oh,
you.
retard.
I mean, hey, Rain
I know
Man,
who
he
I
wasn't a
am.
retard. He he he
I'm
he, he numbers and shit. Autistic, maybe on the spectrum, possibly. Retard, no. Forrest Gump, he meant presidency. He's winning ping pong championships.
He's
Yeah,
like,
if
I
he,
know who I am. I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
I don't break character till what he said. I don't break character until the extra credits or something like. Dude,
Yeah, I don't
I'm gonna
break
go back
character
and
till the
watch that
credits roll or
till the
some
credit
shit.
roll. Like that was such a funny dude. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Was
Oh
it
man.
Jack Black was in that movie too, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
He's the guy
played.
strapped to the pole, right?
I know you would like him because so those vignettes they had at first, and
Hmm.
he did that one thing of the fatties, and I know you love toilet humor. And when he's dressed up kind of like the Nutty Professor did, dressed up as all the characters, and they're all just passing gas at the dinner table.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I know you
Just
rewound
ripping
that
them.
probably 15 times so you can laugh at it. It's the fatties. Meet the fatties. You love that shit,
Man.
man. Why you love that
Uh,
humor? I have
I
no
don't know.
idea.
It's funny. My daughter's the same way. We'll laugh at it. She'll show me the video and I'll laugh at it.
Fart
You
jokes?
know,
Really?
yeah, or jokes, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. We just have the same sense of humor. So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Even
dude, I
every
can
now and
dig it, man.
then, she's like, Dad, here, check this one out. She'll send me something. Check this out. I laughed so hard. Okay.
Yeah.
But
My little
okay.
girl,
So,
I was gonna say, my little girl, I think she'll send me like sometimes clips of like, I think the last one she sent me that I remember was she sent me a clip of there's like a meme of a little kid on their dad's back. Because basically, I used to have my daughter walk my back sometimes when she was little because I had back issues, and that brought her back to like that time. So she sent me that. That was kind of funny.
mm,
But you were saying, so what? What's going on? Because we're going to talk about some
what?
serious shit
Okay.
too.
So, let's see. We talk about Raja. We'll probably admit that last because some folks may not know who that is. I guess we talk about the Minnesota shooting.
Hey man, dude, what the actual fuck, man? What? So,
So,
I'm Catholic, so this happened at a Catholic school. Yeah,
which, I mean, if you're upset at the world, why are you going to shoot up school or
dude, and
church?
yeah, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? Why are you shooting people who can't shoot back?
I mean, if you're that gung ho, why don't you go overseas and pick a fight with somebody?
So the two people we're about to talk about, the transgender shooter and Raja Rampage, both of my thoughts came to that very sentiment you just had. Like, if you're that gung ho, go, dude. We got whole divisions with people who, dude, and they'll pin shiny shit to your chest. They fucking have two parades a year for people who do this stuff. If you want to do that, we have legal avenues where that's what if you want to do, we can go let you do that.
Go to Ukraine.
Yeah,
You
dude,
fight
he
the
can
Russians
sign
there
you
if you
up
want.
and man, listen,
There
they're
you
looking
go.
for you. They want you to come out there.
Hmm.
They want someone who's that gung ho about some things, and man, they'll give you all the ammo you need. And man, if you want to be on a team, you can. If you want to be an army of one, you can. And go out there and you can get all that shit out your system.
Well, I mean, what's crazy is okay. So this person's having a it's what male to female gender right change.
Yeah, I believe so.
Uh, so they're dealing with that, and then they wrote shit on their mat. That this person, I don't remember their
Yeah, they
name.
were like kill
They
Trump,
wrote
and they
then
wrote
they
some
wrote some.
anti-Semitic 6 million wasn't enough. And hold up,
They wrote in Russian. They also wrote was it anti-Semitic? There was Russian
they
shit
wrote it
on
in
there.
Russian. I didn't know that. Was
No,
that person
yeah,
Russian?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Did they
But they
speak
wrote
Russian?
something in
Okay.
Russian.
Yeah. Okay. So
That
I'm looking on my phone right now.
I think
Okay.
that
Let's see. It says,
anti-black stuff on there too, if I'm not
I see
mistaken.
Where is Your God? I see Kill Donald Trump. I see I'm the Worker or I'm the Woker. I guess that's a play on the Joker, I guess.
Yeah.
Why? Because I said, why so serious? Yeah. Other phrases, burn Israel, 6 million was not enough. Ba-da-ba-ba. And then they had one, I guess, on Jesus. He came to pay a debt that he didn't owe because we owe a debt we cannot pay.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
mental health.
I mean, dude, it's clear these young folk are having some mental health issues like that. If
Hmm.
we were to tie together the theme from the Raja Rampage and the transgender shooter, there's some mental health shit going on with these folk that have some theories. But I'm like, so when you talk to a lot of teachers and some things that they've been saying, and I've worked in the field, close to 2 decades of social services experience. And I do get that. I have gotten that feeling sometimes it seems like you have to give up on a generation of young people, but I don't think that's feasible. I think this problem can be solved, can be fixed, but dude,
Yeah,
the
the
propensity,
mental health, bro. Mental health clinics. How many? Remember back in the Reagan days? Reagan got rid of that.
yeah, Reagan got rid of
Publicly
them, but
funded.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Trump is bringing them back apparently. He's bringing back, mental
Mhm.
health places where you can go and man, you need to check in and get some of this stuff worked out. For the life of
We'll see.
me, and the two connecting themes with the transgender shooter, I don't know the person's name, and Raja Rampage, they did, it's not like they grew up in like abject poverty. I mean, they had some struggle like you're gonna have in any first world country, but I don't know if they weren't rich, but hey, if you want to transition, that takes money. You don't see a lot of poor people trying to transition because it costs it there's a cost factor with that as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just to change your name and shit, it costs money. But it seems that there is an undercurrent of anger that young people are carrying forward, and it's bubbling over to where they'll hurt anyone just given the opportunity.
I mean, look at the situation now when it comes to housing. It's hard finding an apartment you can afford on a salary, of just someone just starting out. You're not going to be able to do that without having like three or four roommates. And even then, it's a typical form. So you got that. Or,
Oh yeah,
the
when
prospect of the
okay,
American
you and
dream, you're
I
trying to
hold on.
buy a house
So
too.
let me tease that out some. You and I first starting out, you and I were roommates. Yeah,
Mhm.
you need a roommate.
Yeah, but I mean, how much was rent for us back, 20 years ago to where it is now for what, a two-bedroom apartment we were paying in the Heights. And this
Yeah,
is,
yeah. It was I think 725.
I
725.
think it was like 725. And I think by the time we left, it was like what, 850,
Something
eight
like that. Yeah.
twenty-five,
Yeah.
something like that. So it went up like 25,
But
30,
divided
50
by two
bucks
people.
right by two. But nowadays, that same apartment is probably what, 13 or 14?
Oh yeah, it's
Maybe even
definitely
more
gone up.
now because the Heights has blown up so much,
Yeah, yeah. It's
you
at
know.
least
So
14, probably in the 18 for a two bedroom.
Well, they were selling property left and right there for crazy amounts of money, and these people, built these huge ass houses on those properties, which further
Yeah.
drove up the price.
Yep.
And again, the apartment complex we lived in wasn't new. It was severely outdated.
Yeah, that's why I don't think you can. It'll probably that two bedroom there probably won't hit $2,000 a month.
I'd have to look
Because
and
it's an
see what it
older
is.
apartment.
Yeah, it's probably 18, but
Yeah,
still, I mean,
that's still yeah. I get you what you're saying. So
I
that's
think it
what.
was built in the 60s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I think that
and it
complex
doesn't
was built
have
in
a lot of
60s.
amenities. Doesn't have a pool, nothing like that.
No,
Yeah, yeah,
I think it had a pool. They filled it in with concrete
yeah.
years
They
ago,
they
didn't they?
concrete it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. Now it was just a big old courtyard.
yeah. So in that
Melrose Place.
instance, but again, what's your point? I don't know if that was. I get their issues. Housing does cost a lot, but these guys didn't
Wages,
snap.
housing.
But these guys getting snapped because of housing prices. Housing's too much.
No,
I'm gonna go shoot a school up.
no,
Housing's
it's
too
not
much.
just
I'm gonna
housing.
punch a
It's not
guy
just that.
20
Yeah.
times in the face even after he's unconscious.
No, but it's the cost of schooling, housing, wages haven't kept up.
Okay.
You know, some of these, just out of high school, they're not going to get a CEO job. They're going to get a job at a coffee shop or something. Don't pay a whole lot. Depending on where you live, maybe California, it's $20 an hour for some jobs.
Yeah.
But
Depending on
most
what
other
you're trying to
places, it's
do.
like still $7 or $8 an hour, right?
Yes.
The minimum wage has not kept up with what things are costing now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
Inflation
dude, I
over the
agree.
years has added up.
But I don't know if that's where so many young people's anger is coming from. I think,
I think that's where some of it's coming from. I mean, you know, I listed off four major ones that I can think of.
yeah,
I'm sure there's a whole plethora of other reasons. People are
snapping.
mental health, yeah, snapping. Maybe it's an environmental thing. Maybe it's chemical imbalances. Caused by eating this or drinking that. Or poisons in the air. Who knows? But who knows? Who knows? But like I said, at least on an economic side, that's a huge bit of it. People are getting worn out fast. You know,
Yeah.
uh, some of these engineering jobs that you got some of these engineers out here trying to they've been laid off. Like from Google and whatnot. I'm talking about like software engineers, IT
Yeah.
engineers. Now, those folks find themselves suddenly without a job and they're competing with people coming out of school that'll work or willing to work for less.
Mm.
And so those folks, they're used to making 150, 200,000 a year are having to settle for jobs that are like half their salary, you know, of their old salary, doing IT support. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm a sysadmin. And so I'm competing with a bunch of other people that have been laid off.
Yeah.
And and for some of these jobs, the pay for me is good. It might not be good for those that have got 10 plus years more experience than me, but they're swallowing up those jobs. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. But
So
you are married and you do have dual income coming into the household. And again, that
yeah,
kind of goes back to I get times are hard. So here's what I hypothesize is going to happen. And this is just me talking out my ass. I think we're going to get back to the state to where we actually need each other again. And
hopefully,
you're going to get back to the point where like, no, you can't do this on your own. Living alone is more of a luxury than an actual reality for a lot of folk, even if it means you get a roommate or it means, partnership, get
uh,
married, what have you.
people have to get, again, roommates and shit like that don't always work out.
You move
Uh,
it. So I move it with your friend.
yeah, but
What the
how
fuck
many
is with this
friendships have
generation
we
that's so
seen?
antisocial? Move it
Well,
with your
how many
fucking
friendships have we
friends.
seen fall apart because they moved in together?
I've seen girl relationships fall apart because of that. Women will. So here's, and I was thinking of this a while ago. Uh, you are like my brother.
Hmm.
And so I asked myself this question, like, if I got cloned and there was another one of me, would I like to live with with another identical person of myself? I'm like, well, yeah, because it's like living with my brother. If you ask most women that, they'll probably tell you no, because they'll say, well, it's like living with my sister, and I could never live with my sister again. I could live with
Yeah,
my brother.
no,
I could live with the
I couldn't
dude.
live it myself. If I had an identical copy of me, no, there'd be a lot of
I
button
think you
head.
could because you and I are
Uh,
alike in a lot of ways.
and we're very different in a lot of ways too.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. I mean, we do this all day. No, we're not.
I know you are. Why am I?
Yeah, no, we're not. We're not.
No,
I mean,
we're a
not
little different.
really.
I'm not saying we're carbon copies, but we're a bit different here and there. We have two different ways of looking at things, for sure. Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of times our conversations, we look at something completely out from the other end of the spectrum. Like,
okay.
we gradually can get to a point where we're in the middle, but some topics are very like on the
But
opposite
that's
sides of
what
the fence.
brothers do.
Yeah,
Even though you're not. So in this instance, we're talking about carbon copies, but if you're living with your brother, you may not see eye to eye on everything, but at the end of the day, you can work shit out. I know women
yeah.
who have sisters and they could never live together,
Hmm. Yeah,
even though genetically they're closer in sync with one another.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know what we can. I don't know how to face that. I
I just think
mean,
sometimes
you
you
throw some.
gotta go back and
Well,
live together, man.
yeah, but I mean, really, what needs to happen is we need wage increases that kept up with how much has changed, inflation, all that good
Oh yeah,
stuff.
dude, no
You
doubt.
know,
I think one of
so that's the start. Mental health needs to be at the forefront. You
yes,
know,
I don't disagree with any particular point.
N-
Actually, to your point,
no,
I think one of my favorite businessmen, even though he was, an anti-Semitic shithead, is Henry Ford. And because he was the one who kind of helped engineer the manufacturing and stuff like that. But also, I think what I liked about him is one thing he said that I really agree with is, "Hey man, you gotta." He didn't say "Hey man," but that's just me adding to it.
right,
He
add
said,
into it.
"Yeah, you gotta pay the people enough to buy the cars." He
Right.
understood that no matter how much
Yeah.
you're making as the CEO or the top guy or whatever, you still got to pay your people so they can buy your product.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they've listened to that very well.
Yeah, dude, that's gone.
I mean, how much is a car nowadays? Like the average model, what, 30? For I don't know, for like a Kia, is it 30, 35,
Oh boy, I
32?
haven't even looked at a new car price in such a long time. But I'll
So I
go that
mean,
way. I'll
people
say
are,
at least a
yeah,
new car, at least 30.
yeah.
A used Kia, maybe 20 something.
I'm seeing, people are stretching out, car payments for 8 years, and they're paying like $15,000 worth of interest on top of what they borrowed for a fucking car. It's insane. And I hear people, and I read comments like people say, "Well, you shouldn't buy it. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't buy it." Well, same thing with used cars. They're overly inflated in price. Plus, you never know if you're buying a decent one or a lemon. Even if you had a mechanic check it out for you, they're not going to catch everything, and there could be
Yeah,
something in that engine that blows up in 6 months.
yeah,
So yeah, I would rather get a new car that has a warranty and deal with all that, or a used car that is still within its warranty, plus the option of an extended warranty through um, the dealer you buy it from or whatnot. We got a used newer car, and it was a little pricey, but in the end, we saved a bunch more money had we bought that same model new. We bought something that was going to be easy to park,
yeah.
but yet fit our needs. Since we're
And I
living in
get it.
Chicago, so
I've never owned a new car. All my cars have been used.
mm, no, I don't
And
think because I mean, cars are the worst depreciators in value
Yeah.
of anything you can own. The minute you drive it off the lot, it significantly loses its value. So I don't know if I would buy, you know, unless it was a model that I really wanted and I had the money, maybe. My
Yeah.
dog's out here. Connie's gonna want the dog.
Cool, man. Give Con my
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I get what you're saying. I understand the economic means of looking to cut back
Hi,
at certain
buddy.
things, but I also think, man, there's an importance to not just understanding living within your means, because I don't think any of us do that anymore. Like, dude, everything we're a
Well,
nation run on
sure.
credit.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah. That's
with
an
that said, I'm like, dude, but going back to my original point, I'm like, I think we're going to get back to the model of we rely on people. And I think for the longest time, we've taken for granted, or we've always looked at that we can live, like you've heard the phrase, I don't need a man, I can do it all by myself, I'm strong, this, that, and the other. Like, no, dude, no one does it by themselves, man. You need people, you need someone to have your back. There is no such thing as an army of one anymore. Like, no, there's a team of people. And I love
yeah.
you've heard the acronym team together, everyone achieves more. Yeah, like you need people with you on this thing called life.
Yeah, yeah. Need friends. You need
Yeah.
a partner, whether that partner be your best friend. And I'm saying partner, not like
Yeah, no,
romantically. I'm
I
just
get
saying
you.
in
Yeah, yeah.
general,
Yeah, yeah.
you need that best friend, you need that sibling, that you connect with. At least
Speaking of
one.
which, man, are you still having a hard time trying to connect with people out there in Chi-Town?
I mean, we talk to people, but like I said, it's hard. It's hard, just, striking up a conversation with some folks and it lasting more than 5 minutes before someone's off to their next destination, I think is part of the problem.
Okay.
Me and Connie will walk in to a place and we'll sit down. Usually we sit at the bar, and we'll strike up a conversation, with the people around us, and they just happen to be leaving, right? They're paying out the
Yeah.
tab or whatnot. Hey, how you doing? Or they're waiting for friends, and their friends show up. Well, hey, it was nice talking to you, and they'll go off and do their thing. Um, that's part. I think it's part of the problem. But again, it's going to take time, So anytime we get invited to go somewhere, we go. You know, if you constantly say no to someone and invite you out, they're not going to invite you anymore. So my advice to someone who's, struggling is if you get invited somewhere, even if you don't want to go, go. Even if it's for an hour, 2 hours. It's because again, if you keep saying no, or I can't make it, or come with some excuse, they're going to stop inviting you out.
Yeah.
Right. And it could be a missed opportunity for networking for a job, missed opportunity for making a new friend, you know. So okay. And where's Raja? This and you have to explain that for some folks because honestly, man, these
So
names I don't know these names. Yeah,
Raj, so the only reason we're talking about this guy is because his dad is famous. And I think we've talked about nepotism in an earlier episode where I mean it keeps kind of leaking into everything we talk about because the people who are kind of on the celebrity thing are all celebrities' kids. Uh, Celebrities meaning movie stars, singers, actresses, sports figures, what have you. And Rampage Jackson was a UFC fighter. Really, really good fighter, man. Really good. I've enjoyed listening to a lot of him being a guest on certain podcasts. Uh, for those who aren't in the MMA, if you
like me.
the A Team movie that they did, it had the dude from The Hangover playing Face Man, and the guy who played Mr. T's character B.A.
What?
Baracus, that was Rampage Jackson.
What? Sorry, my dog is over here again. What do you want?
Where my
Go home,
dogs at?
bud. What?
I think he smelled you.
No, he did.
Well, we went around the corner, and
Uh-huh.
as soon as we got to the front entrance of the coin laundry,
Turn
we
around.
stopped. The laundry was open. The coin laundry, both the front and the back doors are open, and I think your cigar, he smelled.
You smelled a cigar. Oh man.
Because then
Okay.
after that, he turned around and came back.
All right. Well, we'll go for Dubs when I'm done, buddy. He made it around like part of the block. Now he's just hanging out here with me. Sorry, interrupting the conversation with
That's cool.
my buddy dog here, my pal.
See how easily I get replaced. You were just talking about how you're trying to talk to people and they're like, oh, I get distracted when something else happens as
Well,
soon as your dog comes in.
he came in through the back gate and he immediately tore a ass up these stairs and went right for me.
So I see where I'm at in the pecking order.
Hey man, it's the same thing with your dog. Your
Man, my
dog's your
dog is just
dog,
chilling on the
man.
couch.
Yeah, but she's your buddy.
She is, dude. She is.
Hmm.
I would be so sad. I know one day she's not gonna, she's gonna pass on, and I'm gonna be devastated. I will have to take some time off. Speaking of mental health, just for that because this
Oh
dog,
yeah, that's your.
yeah, yeah. And I had a dog when I was a kid,
Hmm.
but it was an outside dog. So my
Right.
parents did not have dogs in the house, and living with my ex got me used to living with a dog inside the house. And
Yeah.
I never thought I'd have the kind of friendship that this dog and I have. But anyway, before I
Sorry.
start blubbering and whining like a Frenchman, uh, Rampage Jackson has a son, Raj Jackson, went to an event, and there are a couple characters in there. There's the cowboy dude who invited him to the event. And if you watch the footage, you see the before where they're kind of all hanging out like a parking lot. I guess that's their backstage area because I guess
Hmm.
the area where they're having the event is not, a very expensive area. So that's like it's almost like looks like they're tailgated because they're like grilling and drinking beer, which why you're drinking before a wrestling match, I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe they were done wrestling. I don't know. And a dude who who thought they were doing some work came up and hit him with an empty beer can, kind of Stone Cold Steve Austin style, I guess. And
Yeah.
he didn't know that hey, they weren't doing work or nothing like that. The guy apologized. The guy was like a 50-year-old, I believe, Army veteran. Probably has they said he's had PTSD or whatnot. So but he's been wrestling there, off and on, maybe 5, 10 years. So a lot of people there know him, but the Raja guy didn't know him like that. And again, the only reason Raja is there is because he is starting a career in MMA, and he's gotten that leg up because he's Rampage Jackson's son.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's there is because he is related to a celebrity.
Didn't he have
With
a concussion prior to all this though?
so they came out and said, oh, he had a concussion before. Okay, because he in a sparring match, and hey, I do jujitsu. I play football. So back when I played football from like Pop Warner through high school. I never was college, never played pro. I was never that good in the first place. So I always joke with people, dude. And the truth of it is, I was third string on a bad football team. So that shows you how bad I was. I was the worst of the worst. So no, but I've had concussions. But back when I got them, it was called just getting your bell rung. That's what it was called. No one ever
Yeah,
called
yeah.
it a concussion. And you
Yeah.
kept doing what you're doing, that kind of thing. And so Raja apparently got into a sparring match before he went there, a couple maybe a day or so before, got concussed, whatever. So cowboy dude, the dude that does look like he's like a Chippendale dancer, was like, "Hey man, you should, what's it called? Basically, get your lick back." But either check him. I forgot the terminology they use. It's something very succinct for the world of wrestling. Tag him back or something like that.
Yeah.
And Raj's like, "Okay, cool." I saw the footage of him sitting at ringside waiting for his chance to go in. Apparently he's live streaming as he's doing it. And hey, it's probably good cross promotional stuff. I get the business synergy aspect of it. So I understand why he's doing that. He slides in the ring, slams the dude on the mat, which I thought was, I mean, because it looked like he hit his head pretty hard,
Yeah,
but
it
then
knocked him
proceed.
out originally, didn't it? Or no?
Well, I
Or
don't know if the slam knocked him out, but then
it
he proceeded to do the ground
this
and pound. Which I've seen wrestlers who are working in the ring, and they'll fake like they're punching each other and they're kind of hitting each other like on the head or whatnot. And I've seen that happen. I know Stone Cold Steve Austin is not really punching The
No, they
Rock
like
or
stomp their
whatnot.
feet as they're hitting
Yeah,
it to make
yeah,
it
they're
look like.
doing that kind of they're working the ring. They're taking a hit. I've seen that happen. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid. So
Mhm.
I know they're not really hitting each other. I know, yeah, like you're saying that they're stomping each other or whatnot, and they're like saying they're stomping the ring and stuff. But this guy was really punching this guy, and it's one of those moments in life where everyone froze. No one jumped in until the very end, until like 20 punches later. Someone kind of
They're
jumps
like
in. You
realizing
see,
this is way off script.
because that was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm not in the ring. Who's gonna stop this? The referee's right there. The ref doesn't know what's going on. He's like, these are guys who like they have day jobs the next day. These aren't professional wrestlers. This guy's
No,
gonna go work at the post office again come Monday when it's time to go back to work. Like that's his job. So no, I mean everyone panicked or just froze. One or two people kind of jumped in at first, and I think it was like a younger kid trying to stop what was happening, but it just kept going. And the part that got me, that I keep flashing back to, is the aftermath where Raja is in the parking lot and he's walking away, and the cameraman's trying to bring him from the space, and I guess the wrestlers are kind of talking to him, and they're shouting things back and forth. And the young brother kept saying, "Man, everyone keeps messing with me, and I want to. I guess I want the game to stop because everyone keeps doing this." And the reason that rung so true with me because I've heard that every fight I broke up in public housing, all the stuff I did when I was working at homeless drop-in centers with homeless youth, whatever we would try to separate them, they all would say that same thing of everyone keeps doing this to me. It's almost like this defeatist attitude. And then what I found so fascinating about it is this: at once it was over, like the aftermath and stuff, and whenever you see interviews and stuff like that happening, or the guy's Raja's talking, he's blaming everybody else.
right.
Like at
That's
one
common
point,
these days.
he even blamed the cameraman. It's the cameraman's fault for keep videoing this, and it was that guy's fault for hitting me like that, and it was this guy's fault because he told me to get my lick back, and there was never any accountability in that. And I'm
No,
like, brother, if you are that easily motivated to it, because the guy did say, "Hey man, go in there and kind of get your lick back," but I know the guy didn't mean punch the
no, and it
guy's
probably
teeth out.
it, it probably should have been talked about it since this guy was an MMA fighter. Like, look, man, this is different. Here's how you do it.
But everyone knows that, dude. Who doesn't
I don't
know
know.
that this is not what you do?
Right. Well, again, like I said, if you're gonna egg something on and he's like this style of fighter, maybe, to a point, he lost his cool. To me, it looked like he was upset and he lost his cool.
But if you are that, if and again,
Right. If
coming
you're that
back to
easily triggered, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
or if you are back to my original point, dude, if you are the kind of person that if I say point and shoot, and you are that kind of person who will go out and effectively point and shoot and eliminate a target, bro, there's a whole swath of people in the military that you could go do this for.
Yeah. For
If
sure.
if you need to if someone gives you these orders and you can go execute like that, bro, why are you doing MMA? Why are you trying to pretend like you can wrestle? Dude, go join the fucking army. Go, they'll pin shit to your chest. They will shake your hand and reward you for doing exactly what you did.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so crazy to see. No one's being accountable. No one's to be held accountable for this. Dude, the guy's going to go to prison.
Yeah.
There's how. I mean, at the time of this recording, I have not heard about cops coming to this person's house. But if you or I did this, if you or I went to a ring and punched a
I'll be
guy,
in jail right away.
we'd be in fucking jail.
Right away.
Right the fuck away. Like, dude, like, don't leave. The cops are coming. You're going to prison. And you recorded yourself going to jail. That's what the recording would be. How this guy is not in I know he's not in handcuffs because he is Rampage Jackson's son
Yeah, they got the money to, keep him out of jail.
for a time. But dude, I would be shocked if by the end in the next 2 weeks he's not in handcuffs, sitting in a cell somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if the guy he beat half to death doesn't want to press charges, from my knowledge, and again, I guess it kind of depends on the state you're in also. I don't think the DA office needs them to press charges. They can press charges whether you want to or not.
Yeah, on behalf of the state. Yeah.
Yeah, like, nah, dude, you don't need to be around folk. You need to go lay down somewhere, baby. No, you're going
In
to
timeout.
prison for what? Yeah.
You go in timeout.
So, and the guy he did that to is fit. And the reason I keep bringing the age because you and I are damn near close to 50. We are at that point where if you sustain that kind of trauma to your brain, dude, at 50, you can't, how do you recover from that? He basically gave the
Yeah.
guy a stroke.
Don't.
Yeah. He's going to
Yeah.
be
You
in
gotta be careful.
recovery for God knows how long. And he already had PTSD. He's already had some traumatic stuff in his life. Couple that with what just happened in the ring. Oh, dude, even if that guy survives, which God willing he will, he it's going to be months, if not years, of not just talk therapy, but physical therapy. Getting that dexterity back in your hands and your feet. And because, dude, he took a pounding.
Yeah. You got the stuffing beat out of him.
Oh, dude, that was, I mean, it was just, I couldn't watch that. There are those things that you see in life. I mean, going back to like the George Floyd thing, like, I can't watch this. You're literally watching a person getting killed.
Yeah.
I
He's
don't think you can
lucky
even
that
show that on YouTube anymore. I think they've taken most of it. Usually, if you see the frames now, it's paused before the actual plummeting starts
yeah, yeah.
because I'm literally just watching an execution. That was horrible. Dude, the guy needs to go to fucking prison.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, what the actual now? So we have
Oh,
that, and in the same week you have the trans shooter, and I don't know how it ended. Did the guy was
he
it
shot
death
himself.
by? Oh, he killed himself there,
Yeah, he shot himself.
and he died. He didn't survive the gunshot.
No, no, it was self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yeah, he killed himself.
Okay, so yeah, well,
Yeah.
he would have gone to jail, but the
Which
thing,
again, if you're gonna off yourself at the end of it all, why not just go outside if you're not happy with it? Go out in the woods and shoot yourself. You don't have to kill kids or other people.
yeah,
But I
dude,
don't know. People want to make a statement. They want to be famous for whatever. Granted that these people, these things happen so often. You get forgotten about. You know,
yeah.
Nobody talks about it forever.
So if we're looking at the school thing and we're past the trauma of what's what are because it came out, I think it's a private school, it's a Catholic school, so it's a private school. So they have a bit more leeway to do some things. I know a lot of the schools in Houston have police officers. They have sometimes their own dedicated police unit for these things. What are your thoughts of having like on staff, not just I I mean officers, they might have a sidearm, but what are your thoughts of do maybe some of these guys, these armed officers should have more than just a pistol?
I mean, school's a school, bro. You don't need to make it. You don't need.
But
I don't
these
think you
guys
need.
are coming in heavy. They're
Well,
coming in with some gear.
again, yeah, they're coming in.
And I'd hate to
Again,
just rely on my 9 millimeter and my handgun, and I'm going against this guy with the AR-15, 30 round mags strapped across his vest.
yeah,
Like,
but
I would love to
again,
say I'm that kind of Bruce Willis where I just have a handgun and I'm I'm in Die
You
Hard.
can,
I can
man,
just
if you're proficient with your firearm, you can defeat anyone. Shit, man. Someone spitting machine gun, at you. You
I,
wait for the
I
right time. You wait for that reload, you know.
but by the time that reloads happen, dude, they've already emptied out a magazine.
That's what I mean. They had emptied the mag, right in the middle of reload. But I don't know, I look at it differently because, I was in the service. So,
Yeah, yeah. Look at that's what I'm
basically,
asking you.
if you're trying to overtake a target, your objective is to make them put their head down. That means firing back at them. If
Yeah,
someone's, and you ideally you want to do it from cover, but the main objective for you would be to suppress their fire, keep their head down. That way, if you got a partner or you're working, in a squad or a team, the rest of your squad can flank, right? But that's not going to happen in a school, obviously in a school shooting with one officer. Again, he could have the same armament as that other person, but what good is it if you're not willing to fire back? If you're pinned down and covered, you're not. Some people freeze up, right? They're gonna just stay behind cover and they're gonna pray that this person, reloads or whatnot, rather
okay.
than trying to find an opportunity to suppress their fire. But no, I don't think arming. I mean, these the officers, I believe they do. Some of them in their cars, or I don't know if I've walked. I don't know. Recently in tech, I haven't been in Texas for a few months, but I don't know if I can't say that I've seen school resource officers walking around with an AR-15.
No, I haven't seen that. I've seen them. They got
No,
their
I
side on
don't.
their
No,
police
I
issue. Yeah.
don't think it's going to help. They already have body armor. You have a sidearm. Arguably a pistol's more mobile than a rifle.
Yeah, yeah.
So you should be able to, stay, within decent cover, but expose yourself just a little bit to peek around a corner and pop off a few rounds, even if it's, you just exposing yourself just a little bit, and shooting with your offhand just to put rounds back at that direction where they're coming from. So no, I don't think it's gonna help. You know,
I'm
people.
assuming that.
If we're talking about kids, people, you need to lock your shit up. You need to make sure it's secure, and you need to make sure you have the key, and you know what the code is to all that stuff. You need to check. You need to check your safe regularly.
So I don't disagree with that. I don't know specifically how this. So I don't know. I know this happened in Minnesota, and correct me if I'm wrong. Remember, was it Kyle Rittenhouse or whatnot? Didn't that happen in Minnesota also? So I'm not Kyle Rittenhouse or
Much
whatnot. That
Rittenhouse?
one guy
No,
that
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember where it was at off the
thought
top of
that
my
was
head.
in that state as well. So
It might
I
have been,
loosely
or
remember some of the laws when it comes
well,
to
in his
what the gun
case,
laws were.
he put himself in that situation. He
Well,
had
no, no,
no
I'm
business.
not comparing the two. I'm just
Right.
saying, I'm saying what I'm trying to think what the actual gun laws are for that state.
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they were purchased legally, and apparently,
Okay.
and unlike Illinois, you can, he purchased an AR style rifle, and a shotgun and a handgun, and apparently he fired all three. That's what they said.
Oh
I
wow,
don't know if that story's
Jesus.
changed. Well, I
Okay.
was saying it's a time. I haven't really kept up with it. But yeah, we had a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol.
Yeah. Well, it just happened. What yesterday? I think.
Yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. So there's still details. We won't get like a
Still sorting it
full.
out, still looking
Yeah.
at it. Don't have the full, they're just going off and what they find,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
So I know it. Like you said, from what you're saying, like the guy killed himself. So I don't know
Killed
if they had
himself. The
I don't know if they had
mother of
security on there. I don't know if they had police were there and he got pinned and then he killed himself, or like he
no, he was
saved
shooting in the
one round for
windows, so
himself.
I don't know. Well, he was shooting into the windows of the school, so I don't know if he was specifically in the school or he
Okay.
was off property. He was just shooting
Yeah,
in through the
gotcha.
windows.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
we're just all speculating right
now,
now.
oh, right. And then apparently the mother is not cooperating with the investigation. So I'm not what that means.
Were they hers? Were they his? Because he was an adult,
No,
man. He
I
wasn't a
believe
kid.
this person purchased them
Gotcha.
himself
Okay.
or herself
Okay.
or, whatever identity they went by.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that didn't they go by now is shit. I don't give a fuck if you're transitioning or whatnot. There's no fucking excuse for that. So
no, there's not. I'm
whatever your
saying,
pronoun preferred was, it's asshole now. And
well, yeah, that's your new
I hope whatever
pronoun
the
now,
fuck they are is
asshole.
roasting in hell. I
Right.
hope the man side of him is roasting. I hope the woman side of him is roasting in hell.
Yeah, there was no excuse for that.
None. So I'm like, dude, I could
None
give a fuck what
whatsoever.
your pronouns are.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. So I'm like, you killed yourself. Now you just have hell to look forward to. Enjoy that.
Well, you'd hope. That's
Yeah.
the best you can hope for when this shit kind of happens and some that the perpetrator dies is that there is some kind of justice at the end of it all.
Yeah, that eternal justice, which, I'm a praying man myself, but I don't want to get into that aspect of it. But yeah,
That's a
more
whole other
details are
can of
going to
worms.
come out.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were an adult. So, and I don't know, did they live with the mom? Is that why they're trying to interview the mom?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm
They
like,
were,
what would the mom
again,
do?
I'm sure they're just asking questions about
Yeah.
this person, and apparently she's not cooperating. So
Gotcha.
that was vague. I just saw that. I didn't read too much into it. I didn't. Time was busy.
Yeah.
Doing other
Shit's
things. I didn't have a whole lot of time to
crazy.
really. Yeah, it almost seems to be kind of a reality of an everyday thing. There's some kind of shooting going on somewhere.
Yeah,
You
man,
know,
dude, I'm just waiting for you to run for office, man. Waiting
and
for
it
you to
always
take care of
boils
this.
down to the fight of restricting you know gun ownership and all these other things, and that's a whole other discussion. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the fix is. I do know what the fix is. We need to focus on mental health.
I,
That's where we should
I think if
start.
there's a takeaway,
You're not going to get rid of guns right now, not at least in our society as it is today.
well,
Would it be
dude,
nice? Sure.
guns are one of the last things that Americans make well. We don't manufacture a lot, but we can make the hell out of some weapons.
Yeah. Oh, I, I don't
Yeah,
know
so
if
I'm like, dude, you
I'd
can't
want to
make
be
a decent
remembered.
car for shit no more. The houses we built up, as soon as something comes through, they get torn down damn fast. Dude, well, we can make a gun
Yeah.
that, dude, it motherfucker will last. We got some good ass
Well, I
weapons,
don't
man.
know as a human being if I would want as a society remembered for weapons
Dude, that might be the
or things
calling
that could
card.
kill
That might
people. I
be
don't,
when they read about American history books, they'll be like, well, I tell you what, these motherfuckers can make some weapons.
yeah. Well, time will tell.
Yeah, man, dude, it's craziness, man. But like I
Yeah.
said, I think the one takeaway, which is not even a takeaway, it's just something that's being reconfirmed constantly now, is that the need for mental health services. Uh, and dude, I don't know if you make mandatory or because some of this shit's like I'm sure there were some signs, but hey, man, dude, we're all like you said earlier, we're all so busy. Is anyone paying attention to the signs? There were signs with I get so here's what I want to know. In
No,
every
don't start with me. I tried to talk you. I tried
is that your wife in the background? Can you go back outside?
Oh,
That way we
my
won't
dog is
capture her
barking.
in the thing. Okay.
No, he's barking.
Okay. So what I'd love to do, and this is a theory I've had for a while, and this is for me being raised by school teachers, is when things like this happen, I would love to see them pull the records from the schools that these people attended to. I
Hmm.
would love to see what the teachers, not the grade so much, but the conduct, the teachers that spent time with these youth for 8+ hours Monday through Friday, what did they say about these young people? I guarantee you, if you look at Raja Rampage, if you go back and look at the schools that he went to, what did the teachers say about that young man? There are probably glaring red flags there. I would I would venture to say the same thing about the transgender shooter also shooting up the Catholic school. That there were
Maybe.
glaring red flags that the teachers probably caught because they spent a lot of time with this person.
Yeah.
That's just a theory.
Well, it takes someone to be able to listen to all that to really care, you know.
And man, that's why we got you, brother. That's I think, yeah. So
uh,
you cleaned out your computer so you can listen to these young folk when they talk about, the need out there because they can't make it in society. They can always go to Mikey and talk to you. If you
no,
can put down your
I didn't
feet pics,
completely clean it. I need a duster can and I get my dust brushes out. I got to do it all when the computer's off, so I got to take it apart. But I'm not doing that right now.
don't
Next
leave,
week,
don't lose the foot pics you have. And I know you
no,
got some good stuff on there that you want to definitely
no,
keep. But yeah,
all the
man.
important stuff is backed up, so not worried about
Fair enough, man. Well, man, we've
it.
been rambling on for like an hour, man. You want to go ahead? I mean,
Yeah,
we're gonna end on a fucking sour note, which is crazy, but shit's getting crazy. We got
sour.
shit to talk about.
Yeah, well, the adventure continues.
Adventure continues, man. What is that? Remo Williams? The adventure continues.
Mm,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. What
Dun,
did
dun,
Remo?
dun,
That
dun, dun,
I
dun,
was it a
dun,
one
dun,
movie that he
dun.
did, or was it a couple? I don't remember.
Well, he only did. I think the books were more, but they only did the one movie with him and Chun. And
Yeah,
yeah, and it was Remo Williams. The adventure continues.
chicken
Dun, dun,
too.
dun, 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 dun,
I
dun, dun,
forgot about that movie, and I'm gonna have to
dun.
go look it up
Remember
and watch it
we had that
again.
on DVD. We used to watch that all the time. The Adventures of Remo
Yeah,
Williams.
The Adventures of Remo Williams.
Dude, I'll leave you on this one. I remember watching that when it came out with my dad. And we're at home, it came on TV, and we're watching that. And it's that one part where the guy is clearly got the guy in his sights. He's got a handgun, and the guy he shoots, but he does that thing where like he spins around kind of real quick. And the guy shoots again, and like he spins again. And my
Yeah,
dad was like, "If you did that, you're gonna get shot in the ass.
yep.
That is not martial arts."
Bullet's not gonna change its path. It's still gonna hit somewhere.
That
I don't know.
spun real quick. I'm like, okay, no, dude.
Yeah.
And actually, that guy who played Remo Williams,
Mm.
I know he passed. He went home. I want to say a couple years back.
Yeah.
Because I liked his character in Joe Dirt as well. Really, really fun character actor. He made his journey home a few years back. I want to say either before or maybe during COVID that he passed away. So our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of all the stuff we talked about today. So fucking hell, man. But
Yeah.
brother, you're busy. You got to go clean out your computer. Clean
Do
the
that next
fans a
week. No,
little
I
bit
got other things to do.
so you can
I'll deal
get
with
your
that
fit
next week.
fixed.
I gotta get compressed air and I gotta dig out my brushes and whatnot. So
I
I'll do
don't
that next
care.
week.
You can stop. I don't care.
I care.
I
I
know you do.
care
They're your feet
because
pics. I know you care. I know you care.
yeah,
They're your
I don't
feet
want
pics.
overheating because then I
You've been
won't be able
collecting
to
these
post
feet pics for
episodes and
20
things like
years. You
that.
can't
So
lose
we're just
this. These are
we're
good
just
feet
talking over each
pics.
other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
uh,
All right, time to say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, asshole.
All right.